All right, so of the dynamic duos, of the best players that are playing together on their individual teams, Mitchell and Strus come in at number 10. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, this makes absolutely no sense. Why would these guys be the 10th best duo? They're not good. Also, wouldn't Donovan Mitchell be better suited with a Jared Allen because they kind of play together? Maybe they do a lot of pick and rolls together. They're more of a duo. Well, I'm basing this on time they've actually spent on the court together. Strus and Mitchell have spent 624 minutes on the court together, okay? That's the 19th most of any duo in the league. So they are a prolific duo. So what you'll notice is that there are guys on here who seem mismatched, almost like, well, why is this guy with this team? Why don't you have like the two best players on this team? It doesn't make sense that you take two guys that really, no one would really match them together, or maybe one of the guys isn't very good or isn't a star. It's because these are the guys that are on the court sharing time together. Whether you like it or not, they are duos. They are playing in the same unit and they're playing together a lot. So, Strus and Mitchell are actually very good together. They have a pi rating of 5.43. 54.3, which is really good, which you'll notice this is kind of these excellent duos in the league, this is kind of in the middle of the good duos, which is really interesting because 14 and 12, that is the record of the Cavs. It's not great, so you think, well, these guys aren't like, why would these guys match up really, like, why would they be so high on this list? 10th being high. This is of all the duos. This is of literally any combination of NBA player. Well, they're tearing it up, and the reason that the team would be bad is because the bench is bad. So that's the revelation we're going to make about the Cavs, is the bench is bad. Because Strus doesn't even have a great PER. What is PER? PER is player efficiency rating, and the thing about PER, I've talked about this on the show before, the great thing is you can measure if a guy is good, if he should be starting, if he's above the average or he's below the average, above the mean or below the mean. I don't know if mean mode, I'm not sure exactly, but is he better? Is he in the upper or lower 50 percentile of the league? And Strus is actually not, but he still plays really well with Mitchell. His PER is 11.7. The league average is always, without a doubt, 15, and he's below that. But Donovan Mitchell is very good. What we know now is Strus is pretty much only good with Mitchell. That's how you can draw these conclusions. Mitchell is very good. He's got 27.3 points per game, 22.1, so he's 6 points above the mean. He's playing really well, but Strus needs Mitchell to play well. These guys play really well together. They complement each other. Unfortunately, Garland has a hard time getting going. He's an excellent player, but this season's been rough for them. But Strus and Mitchell are the 10th, and from how I'm doing my grading, you can make your own video if you'd like. Show me it. I'd be happy to, leave comments, hang out, talk about it. But the 10th best duo in the NBA right now, Donovan Mitchell and Max Strus. Crazy, I know. Then we got Brunson and Randle, and the reason Brunson and Randle are high on this list is because they play the most minutes together. That's really the only reason, because the thing is, their pi rating is 50 flat. That's 4 points below Strus and Mitchell, a team that's struggling. Actually, hold on one second. Well, they basically have the same record. That's the thing. They actually basically have the same record. Brunson and Randle are high up on this list because they play so much together. They played 796 minutes together thus far, which is the most of any player. Again, pi rating not good. Again, net rating 2.83. That means they're scoring more points than they're letting in while they're on the court. So they're always playing against the starters. Their starting unit is good, but again, the Knicks aren't great, but they are definitely the 9th. Mainly, I gave them the 9th because they play so much together. Randle is playing really well, 18.2. He's above in player efficiency rating. He's above the mean, so he's good. As is Brunson, 21.1. doing really well. These are stars in the league. These are good players. These are likely all-stars if you go by John Hollinger's PER, like what a certain amount means. Both these guys, Randall may be an all-star, but Brunson is going to be an all-star. Trust me. And his points per game is 25.5. It's great. These are great players. They're really good. While they're on the court together, they're not exceptional, but they're always on the court together. That's why they come in at number 9 on my list. Let's move on. Who cares, man? Butler and Lowry. But wouldn't it be Bam and Butler? No, because they haven't really played that many minutes together. Butler, the guy that he's played with the most, is Lowry. And they played the 34th most minutes together in the league of any combination of two players. That is the duo. Unfortunately, I think Bam and Butler have both missed time, and they haven't overlapped as much. So, the most exceptional duo on that team as of now, and this will change as the season goes on. It'll probably be Bam Adebayo, I would assume. But for now, it's Lowry. And they're 52.2. Again, this is higher than the Knicks, lower than Strus and Donovan Mitchell on the Cavs. So it's somewhere in between. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is Strus and Donovan Mitchell are a great combo. They play well together when they're on the court. That is the fun little anomaly that you're going to take away from this video, is the fact that Strus and Donovan Mitchell play really well together, even though the Cavs aren't very good. Still, Lowry and Butler, they're my 8th, because the Heat aren't bad. 15 and 11, better than the Knicks, better than the Cavs. They're playing pretty well. 5.5 net rating. They're getting 5 more points than the other team is getting while they're on the court. Butler shooting 21.8 points per game and 21.4 PER. Butler will probably be an all-star, even though I don't think he likes playing in the all-star games from what I remember. Lowry's PER is actually below average, better than Strus, but still below. Again, what does this tell us? This means that Kyle Lowry needs Butler to play well. He's shooting 44% from 3, and he's not like shooting 1 3-pointer a game. Either way, even if you shoot 1 3-pointer per game and you're 44%, means you're incredibly efficient from the 3-point line. But Lowry needs to get good playing with other players than Butler. That's the truth. LeBron and AD. I kind of cheated on this one, honestly, because they've played the 70th most minutes together, which there are Lakers who have played more time together. But I went and I had to dig down for LeBron and Anthony Davis. Just because they won the in-season tournament, I felt like I needed to include them on this list as a duo. But I did stretch because they played the 70th most minutes together. I should have done, I think the guys that have played together, talking too fast. The guys that have played together the most are D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Davis. But I just didn't care about that just because I should have done the 2 of them. But let's be honest, AD and LeBron are the 2 faces of that team. So to put D'Angelo Russell on this list would have been strange. So I dug deep. I think there's 6 on my list. They played 551 minutes together. And as you go down, they're all really close. They're all really close in minutes. These are all within, 100 minutes of each other. All these guys are playing together all the time. But I put them on the list. I shouldn't have. They're 55.4. Again, I believe, let's go back. Okay, they're above Strus. They're above Strus and Donovan Mitchell. They're a little better than Strus and Donovan Mitchell. To give you an idea how good Strus and Donovan Mitchell are together, they're only a little below LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Pretty incredible. And they're not even on a good team. Of course, the Lakers aren't great either. Let's be honest, they won the in-season tournament, but they're not exceptional. They lose to bad teams. They're 15 and 11. They're middle of the boat. I think right now they might actually be in the play-in right now. They're not awesome. LeBron and Anthony Davis are carrying this team both in the, mid-20s points per game, and then their PER is crazy, 25.0. Remember, the mean is 15. Both are 10 points above the mean. They're carrying this team. The fact that they're so much better than the average player on a team means they are carrying this team, meaning a lot of the Lakers are going to be below 15 in PER. They're going to be below average players because the team isn't very good. So I put them on this list, and I shouldn't have. To be honest with you, I shouldn't have done that. Giannis and Lillard, they play together a lot. These ones do make sense. Giannis and Lillard obviously are on the court together a lot. Again, I don't think this is the Bucks duo that has actually played the most together. I'm not sure what it is, but they played the 49th most minutes together, which counts. It counts. They played a lot of minutes together. Their pi rating is 54.6. Basically, Strus and Donovan Mitchell. I'm not going to harp on this anymore, but I'm saying it's good. Net rating, they score about 8 points more when they're on the court together than the other team scores. And the record's good. I think this record is actually wrong because I believe the Rockets just lost to the Bucks. So it's actually 19-7. So they're pretty high on my list. Giannis, okay, let's talk. 31.6 points per game. Unreal. That's incredible. But we're going to get to players who actually have more points per game. And the PER of 30.6. That's MVP level PER. But there are players that are actually more valuable than 30.6. That is what we call a MVP candidate PER. You've doubled what an average player is, which is 15. Giannis is pretty good at basketball. Damian Lillard, 20.9. It's almost 10 points less than Giannis, but Lillard that's still really good. Lillard will be an all-star. If you're above 20, you might be an all-star. It's really how it goes. And 25 points per game. An exceptional duo. The only reason they're really lower on this list is because they're 49th in most minutes played together, and I tended to favor guys that have played more minutes together. So keep it pushing. Harden and Leonard, bet you didn't know. This is what's crazy. They're 45th. Harden and Leonard have played together more than Dame and Giannis, which is crazy because Harden was traded before the start of the season. They've got cooking. They're back at it. I remember we were all criticizing them oh, can this team do it? There's too many guys that need the ball. There's too many ball hogs. Now they're on a 7-game winning streak, and we all kind of realize that we have no idea what's going on in a basketball game. We all just kind of speculate, and we like to talk shit, don't we? 58.1. Dude, these guys are incredible. Don't sleep on the Clippers. They figured it out, and I myself should be. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I didn't really believe in them, but man, these two, Harden and Leonard together, are possibly, as we get further into the season, I think we're going to start talking about these two guys more. I noticed PG has taken a little bit of a backseat if you're looking at his points per game. I don't watch Clippers games because they're blacked out, so I just kind of check the stats. I just check what the scores were, check the box score. And PG always has 8 points, 11 points, so he's taken the backseat, which is good. I mean, if you're, be humble and say, hey, I just want to win. I want to facilitate the dub, just like Westbrook is doing. So they're 15-10, and they're on the come up. They're on a 7-game winning streak, so you have to respect it. So they're 4. 24 points per game for Leonard, 22.9. Gonna be an all-star. Hasn't missed a game, and I had a lot of resentment and bitterness toward Kawhi Leonard that I was probably projecting from something in my own life, and I feel bad because the guy's out there and he's playing a lot of minutes, and I'm really happy for him. Could it be because he's in a contract year? I don't know, but he's playing, and that's awesome. Good for him. Harden, 16.3. This guy, Harden, is now facilitating. He's like, I'm going to be a point guard now. I'm just going to be a point guard. I'll just do that. That's fine. I'm not going to do step backs. I'm not going to penetrate. I'm going to be a point guard, and he's awesome. James Harden is great. 19.4 PER, not going to be an all-star. Not this year, unfortunately. Weird one, Gobert and Conley. You would have thought, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, that's going to be the duo. No, they haven't played that many minutes together. The top-rated guys, they're in that's their duo. Conley and Gobert have played the most minutes together of any Minnesota Timberwolf. Isn't that interesting? I find that so fascinating. Those guys are on the court together a lot. So let's get into their stats. 58.1. That's one of the highest that we've had thus far. I think it's basically, now we're getting into it. This is, I forget what number we're on, but I think this is the third. This is the third duo that we have, number 3. They're really high on this list. Because they're 5, this is crazy. And they're scoring 13 more points than the other team while they're on the court. And maybe you may say, Anthony Edwards is getting all the points. Karl Anthony Towns is getting all the points. I think you're overlooking the fact that There are guys that are typically on the court with these guys. But the thing is, we don't have definitive information that they're providing the value. What we do have is the fact that when these guys are on the court together, they're one of the best duos in the NBA. They're the third best duo in the NBA. What can I tell you? Gobert, 12 rebounds a game. PER, 18.5. Gobert is not going to be an all-star. He's just not. He's not in all-star territory. Conley, 43% from 3. That was the best statistic I could find. If I looked at like how many points per game, it's like 8, 10 points per game. And his PER is barely above the average. This is fascinating to me. These guys play really well together, but when they're not on the court together, they're not good. These two are, I don't even know if they run the pick and roll with these guys a lot. They must run the pick and roll with these guys a lot, and the pick and roll between these two guys is incredible. I don't watch a lot of Minnesota Timberwolves games, I'll be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of games. I watch one game a night, but all I have is stats, and these two rock together. Let's keep it. Jokic and KCP. You thought I was going to do Murray. You thought. No, Murray's been injured a lot. He doesn't have that many minutes with Jokic. The next guy down was Michael Porter Jr., who has less minutes than KCP with Jokic, and his PI rating is lower. These guys have the 4th most minutes played together. Their PI is 55, which isn't the highest. It's not the highest. It's not. There are other guys that have higher PER than these two guys together, but they played the 4th most amount of minutes. That's awesome. That's like barely below Brunson and Randall. The record is 17-10. Nuggets are dropping weird losses, and it's frustrating because I'm a Nuggets fan. And let's talk about, now we're getting into MVP candidates, okay? So, Jokic's PER is 32.1, over a point higher than Giannis. Dude, killer. That's what we call runaway MVP. In terms of PER. That is a runaway MVP PER. 27 points per game. Obviously probably averaging like 9 assists per game as well. You know, probably, I would assume, maybe 12 rebounds. Incredible stat line. But we're getting to a player that maybe has even better stats than Jokic. KCP's is not crazy. He's actually like significantly below player efficiency rating for the average player. He's in 10. He's almost in the territory where I would consider you kind of not being in the league anymore, which is very interesting. What does that tell us? That tells us that Jokic is really good, that whatever duo he has around him, he can make excel. But KCP is 40% from 3, so, you know, PER doesn't tell us everything. Brown and Tatum, number 2. Brown and Tatum are number 2. I had to put them on this list. Why? Because the Celtics are good. Even though if you really look at their numbers, they're up there, like 31st in minutes played together. So they played a lot together. There are combinations of the Celtics that have actually played more together. I think Derek White has played a lot. I think Tatum and Drew Holiday has played more. I chose Brown and Tatum, though. I probably should have chose Holiday, honestly. But Brown has 22 points per game. He's barely above the league average in PER, considering I don't know if his contract has started yet, but he's the most expensive player in the NBA, but his PER is slightly above average, is not great. Tatum's PER isn't crazy either. It's 20.9. That team is just good. The team is just exceptional. 27 point, they're getting a lot of the points on the team, but I think the Celtics just score a lot of points. Really what you can do is you can match up any duo of the Celtics, Porzingis, Holiday, White, Brown, and Tatum, and you're going to get a really great duo. So I just kind of randomly chose Brown and Tatum. I should have, they're the lead scorers on the team. And their record's really good. So that's why they got 2. That's why they're there, if you're curious why they're so high up. The best duo in the league is Embiid and Maxey. And I wouldn't have said that because they're 42nd. They haven't played the most minutes together. They're 42nd, granted significantly more than AD and LeBron. But I had to put them on there just because their numbers are wild. And they're really impressive. And I've never been an Embiid fan, but I have to respect what he's doing. He's incredible. 34 34.5 PER is the highest PER of all time. If the season were to end right now, he would have the highest player efficiency rating of all time. It's outstanding. It would beat Nikola Jokic's record in, I believe, 2021 or 2022. One of those years that he won the MVP. I think it was 2022. Doesn't matter. Maxey, 25 points per game. Joel is going to lead the league in scoring for the third year in a row. 34. The guy can get to the line. I'm not an Embiid fan. I always thought of him as kind of an Eeyore, but dude, he's out there and he's doing awesome, and I have a lot of respect for the guy, so I feel a little bit bad because I've talked crap about him before, I think, or just had negative thoughts about him. But man, this team is good, and they're kind of just being good and quiet, which I love. They're not bragging, they're not braggadocious, they're not talking shit or anything. They're just being good. Maxey's going to be an all-star. He's above 20 PER. That's all-star territory. Their record is good, 18-7. Obviously not as good as Boston. Their net rating together is 17.2. They're getting 17 more points than the other team while they're on the court together. Man, this team is good. Embiid and Maxey. Clap. Give it up. I had one more thing to say about Embiid and Maxey, I believe. Oh, well, the 17.2 probably has come from those two games with, they played, the Wizards and the Pistons recently and blew them out. So they really racked up those net ratings. Good for them. Pile it on. Make them suffer. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Be good to your moms.